Hi, I'm Blake Nishimoto.
Hi, I'm James Spann.
Hi, I'm Craig, and now here's Brittany to give you an overview on the project.
Throughout the following semester, we have been working on a case dealing with American Guitars Company. And this company manufactures two models, a beginner model and a professional model, and they utilize two manufacturing departments, including construction and the finishing department. We were dealt the task to recommend if American Guitar Company should continue to use its current accounting system. And we did this by creating multiple schedules and calculating variances and overhead rates to decide if they should or should not continue using their current accounting system. I will now hand it over to Blake, who will begin to talk about what we found.
The professional model direct material price variances is barely favorable, meaning that the budget amounts and prices were close to actual amounts and prices. On the other hand, the beginner model performed more poorly. However, the variance is still small in relative proportion to total direct material cost. This shows that historical data is representative of current activities. The labor price variances paint a different picture. The professional guitar's actual costs were much greater than the budgeted costs in the construction department, creating a large unfavorable price variance. Conversely, the beginner model had large favorable price variances in the construction and finishing department, showing that American Guitar paid much less for labor. Now James will speak about under and over applied overhead.
The variable overhead efficiency variances give insight as to how well the company budgeted using the standards. The very small efficiency variance in the construction department for the beginner model indicates that only a small amount more was spent than planned. The variance in the construction department for the professional model was also relatively small, which indicates that the budgeted amount was not too far from the actual results. This variance was, however, favorable instead of unfavorable compared to the beginning model. The finishing department had unfavorable variances for both models. The beginner model had a small variance while the professional model was larger. The unfavorable variances indicate that American Guitars did not efficiently use their cost allocation base of labor hours. They can improve these variances by ensuring the Human Resources Department hires more skilled workers and better trains their workers. However, it should be noted that hiring more skilled workers will result in higher labor costs, which will affect the price variance. Now, Craig will talk about our recommendations.
We would recommend that American Guitars change from absorption costing to variable costing for pricing decisions and performance evaluation. Variable costing would allow American Guitars to perform cost, volume, profit analysis. CVP analysis will allow managers to understand how output level, selling price, variable cost, and fixed cost affect total cost, revenue, or operating income. Variable costing will allow managers to perform sensitivity analysis to give them an idea of possible outcomes before they commit costs. Variable costing will also allow the managers to determine break-even points. At this point in time, we do not recommend American Guitar to use standard costing. Standard costing is a great tool to measure variances and trigger organizational learning if it can be properly implemented and used. However, we believe that the system is too complicated and costly for a company like American Guitars. Notable companies that use standard costing are much larger and profitable. Companies like Dell have a greater need for standard costing. They also have the infrastructure and human talent to create such intricate systems. American Guitar tracks both of these features. Now I'll pass it back to Brittany to sum up our findings.
Although Craig said that we currently do not think that American Guitar should use standard costing would be beneficial if the company decided to expand its operations and add more activities. This would allow them to more accurately allocate costs. If American Guitars were to expand their line of guitars, standard costing would be very appropriate and useful. And I'm Brittany Swanson.
On behalf of our group, we would like to thank you for your time.